Hello. We are back with another one. This is another big client that I'm knocking off all their employees, so they just keep feeding them to me. Great gig if you can get into that kind of thing. I've marketed my headshot services for corporations, for like group rates, that kind of thing. I do them in my studio. I've stopped going out to their space. There's a lot of reasons why I've done this, but it's easier for me, it's easier for them. The one really big thing that it does, though, is it also you start to build a bit of a working relationship with this company. And anytime there's a new hire, they basically they give this new employee the link to my booking site where they just book their appointment. There's no charge to them. They don't have to pay anything up front. Or even after their session, I just invoice the company directly, and they just keep sending me people one after another. But it's the first initial kind of sale that you got to make with the company, and explain it so that they understand that this is actually in their best interest. Anyway, that's a whole other discussion. I can get into that a bit more if you want. Comments below, as I always say, but today we are just going to pop this one off and get it done. So I'm running my scripts and let's get into it. Again, so my frequency settings, they never really change because I shoot everything all the same. It's the same resolution camera. It's the same camera, so it's the same resolution. All the dimensions are pretty much the same because I'm shooting the same stuff. So it never really changes. First things first, we are just going to get rid of the light that's cast up here. So I've got my mixer brush on the low median layer, and I'm just going to brush that shadow color out. That's good. And then we start tackling the texture layer as always. Now, she's got a lot of flyaways happening here. This is a pretty big job getting rid of all of these little flyaways in here. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try and tackle it. We've got some acne scars, red spots, bumps, stuff like that to take care of. Aside from that, it's not too much. She didn't pick any hair or makeup. She kind of did everything by herself, I guess, prior to coming in. I'm going back to my mixer brush for a second because I didn't notice this before. So as you can see from the catch lights in the eyes, I did have a box underneath in the front, and I think I've just kind of caught like an edge of it, so there's a bit of a shadow here, but we can get rid of this with that mixer brush. Those together and get rid of that little shadow there. So it's not going to be in the shot anymore. The real realization that I had when I started working with this approach, the frequency SEP 2.0 approach, was, I don't know, I guess I initially had this kind of thing stuck in my head, like, well, this is skin and that's background, and different tools for skin and different tools for background, when no, it's just it's all pixels. It's all just a color of a pixel. It doesn't really matter what it is in the shot. It's all colored pixels. So just, all the tools apply. Okay, texture layer. I got my stamp tool. I want to go slightly soft, but not crazy soft. And I'm just going to get rid of some of these marks that are in here. Neck. That crease. All we're going to be left with here, and all that you're still seeing, is all just color info. So if I go to the color, I get my mixer brush and my flow. I'm going to take the flow down a bit to around 50, 57. And I'm just going to smudge that. The crease in the neck. Same with this one. Just smudging the line. There. The creases are gone, yet we still have shadows where they're supposed to be, that kind of thing. There, we'll get rid of that. This transition in here. Transitions. Note I'm starting to get into my zone when I stop talking. All right, back to their texture, back to our stamp tool. Let's tackle some of the acne spots. And we're gonna have to come over with the mixer brush and the color layer to get rid of the redness. But this approach really handles these kinds of tasks really easy. And I think it handles it better too. I find it's harder to notice that something's been manipulated when you split those layers up and modify them in those separate spaces. Rudolph there. Getting those larger pores. With the tap technique. We call it the dabber technique. I don't know. I only ever played bingo once in my life. Became a popular thing for a bit there. I don't know if it's any popular anymore, if it's still gone back to considered like a game retirees play. How stereotypical is that? Okay, I want to get in a little closer here because I want to get the line of jaw. The hair strands in there. All right. Yes, I know you're probably saying there's no change in her acne. It's still there. I see all the spots still. What you're seeing, like I mentioned before, is you're just seeing the color information that's left behind. We've taken care of the texture part. And we'll go back again and hit it with a mixer brush to get rid of the redness. I'm seeing how the skin texture is coming, and it's coming along just fine. And that's all just going to be color info. Look at these eyes. Aren't they nice? I don't know, maybe I'm biased because I have the same eyes. Kinda. She's got a little bit of blue going on there. So it's a blue-green brown thing going on. I wonder if those are real. Are they real? Or is it Maybelline? All right, just a couple of spots up here to take care of. We do have a slight glare happening, slight shine. I can actually take care of that a bit up here in the color layer as well, because that's mostly what it is. There's not really, the texture's fine. Shifting that color. All right, mixer brush time. Go on the color, grab our mixer brush. I get my flow up a little higher here, 90%. Just like that. red spots are going. Still got some texture info in there. I'm seeing some pinkish happening down on the chin area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab just a regular brush. I'm going to sample a normal skin tone, which is probably going to be around there. I want to stick to the lighter tone. And then I'm going to paint with color. And my flow is too high there. I just want it around. That's interesting. My flow buttons are not working. Windows doesn't update and it adds new stuff without you asking for it. Okay, regular brush, 10% flow on color. I'm just going to paint over that kind of pinky reddy area of that skin. And just bring it around to the same color as the rest of the skin, just like that. Same up here. Red spots. I think my flow may actually be a little on the high side too. Sample that color. Gonna hit that a little bit more. Here, let's sample around that color. And it's just taken the redness out ever so slight. Okay, back to our mixer brush. And now I can really start to smooth these colors together. So there isn't any less blotchiness, I guess you could call it. Don't really want to attack shadows too much, because that changes the shape of somebody's face. I want to smooth out the tones and the gradations. Rudolph gone. Guys down in here. Okay, what have we got? A bigger picture. Go back to my mixer brush. Pardon me. Up there. Let's get some, we can just do it with the colors that are here now. Just bring some of that down. Do want a little bit of a highlight. We just want to smooth out the transition. All right, that's pretty cool. Little spot just under the eye there I want to tackle. I've got my stamp on my texture. That little spot right there. I'm not tackling absolutely everything. Like, people are going to have some slight imperfections in their skin. That's what makes them human, what makes them normal. We do have a little bit of chapped, cracked lip right there. So let's get rid of that. Now the hair. This is a big deal. Let's do the outside of the head first, so we can shape that. There's my stamp tool. I'm going to harden up my edge a bit because I do want to, and I'm going pretty sledgehammery on this because it's fine. You're not going to see it once I go over it with the mixer brush on the color layer. I'm just getting rid of that initial texture on the background. Okay, so there's that. Now, color-wise, mixer brush on the color layer, and this I'm just going to very gently push that background color into that hair I've already kind of hit with the textures. Gonna clean up that head. Good from that side. No, that's fine. Okay. I do have a bright light in my face here, so sometimes it makes it a little more difficult to see. I could have sworn I saw something going on here, which I still do. So let me see something for a sec. Mixer brush. Let's get the flow back up to 100. That's something else that I've noticed can really help as well, is if you just grab with a hand tool and move it around, you'll actually see what is actually in the picture. Sometimes staring at the screen for a while, you can't actually see what's there because it's such a subtle, minute shift. But if you actually make it move, it starts to jump out. Okay, bigger the brush we go, the more we are going to smooth the transitions, the transition line. Okay, so same thing on this side as well, but we're gonna scooch down a little bit. Control 0 to fill the screen, and then I'm gonna drag it over here. Just push. Push that background color into the hair that we don't want. And does a really good job of just cleaning up those edges. So that's great. Let's see before and after on that. Yeah, see? Just kind of cleans up the edge. It's these guys here that are going to be the fun part. Now, what I've kind of devised myself is very smooth brush for on the stamp tool. And I think the general thought process is this is the line, so I'm going to draw this way. And I find that's when things really start sticking out like a sore thumb. So if you were to sample above, but go in the direction of the hair that you want it to go, tends to work out better. Keep your brush aligned. So keep the stamp tool aligned. And always keep changing your sample point. Because this is really easy to start introducing repeating patterns. Because we don't have to actually hit every single last one. Of these hairs that are flying across, but you do actually have to be balanced, right? You can't clear out a whole bunch in one spot and then leave all the others. You kind of have to even out your cleaning, if that makes any sense, because if you do focus on just one area, cleaning it up, then you'll have one really clean area, and then all the other areas will be all still kind of rat nesty in a way. What I'm doing here is I'll go over it initially, and then I will backtrack over it again, just kind of covering my tracks and getting rid of any kind of patterns that I might have introduced. Put that one in myself. So something else that I'm doing, which I kind of do automatically, like you'll notice that there's a bit of a void or a dark spot in here. That's always a good spot, or you can clear those up pretty quick, but you have to keep an eye on that when you're sampling. Yeah, this is going to take a long time. I may just speed this process up. You kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to shut up and get to this. That's a little better than it was. Okay, it's a mite better. It's significantly better than it was. I'm not like an expert hair retoucher by any means, and the nature of my work is not magazine level. I will be the first to admit that. There's down in here, there's one of my hot pixels. Color layer to just clean that part up as well. There you go. I think that's a lot better than how it was originally. I don't know if you caught near the end there. I actually moved some more of the hair color over top because I still had some lighter patches in there that was still showing some texture. So I just wanted to get rid of that kind of stuff. Right, let's just do a quick D&B in my usual spots. Get rid of those two layers because I don't need them. F6 for my D&B on my dodge layer regular brush at 10% flow. We're just gonna kick up that guy, so they're all kind of equal. Up the bottom one, that one. Burn on eyebrows. A little darker on the eyebrows, and let's take this back just a hair, around 80. Don't need the Viz layer or that retouch layer. I didn't do any other hair work there, so that's good. Teeth. Touch Magic Smile to the rescue again. We still got our brush tool. We're going to go 100% opacity on the brush once we select it. Whiten those teeth. Such a really good job. How much the retouch panel costs, which isn't all that much, but just for this, just for the teeth whitening alone, I think it pays for itself. Glowing. Pull it back a touch. I want white teeth, but we don't need chalk. 70%, that's good. All right, and an F10 for our sharpening layer. Wait for it to do its thing. And we'll hit OK. Surface blur, I got my T. Regular brush at around 50% flow. Pop the eyes a little bit there. I want to actually back it off on here. X to flip my colors. Just back the sharpening up on the lips here. Because that lip was kind of, really popping out now. Okay, there's our sharpen. F8 for our vignette. Grab the move tool. Find her head. Here, I think I might actually expand it. Alt goes from the center. Apply that. Let's run our raw grain. Alrighty, and look at that, we're done. Another one in the books. They're pretty quick, but I still take my time, and I think this one turned out really good. I was really on the fence with the hair, whether or not I wanted to tackle that, but I think it turned out quite alright. Like always, if you like it, then like it, and if you got a question, then by all means ask it in the comments. I'll try my best to answer. Catch you next time. Ciao.